This episode's ASMR is brought to you by chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
And also gin and grapefruit juice.
Chocolate milk taste.
What? That is one of the weirder words in our language.
Milk taste?
Yes. The fuck?
I don't know.
Ew.
This is episode 11. Are you with me right now?
Not anymore.
Do you think our audience is?
I don't think we have one, so.
Does that mean they are with us then?
Nobody's with us, so yes.
Cool. Welcome, nobody.
It's nice to see you. We're in the same room again.
Yay, we're doing the thing.
That's exciting. I'm really glad we're recording in the same room. I'm really starting to hate how my voice sounds on Discord, like over a phone speaker. It just sounds bad.
Yeah, we need to look into getting you a speaker then.
Yeah, I still can't download Discord onto my laptop though.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. But I'm using the website.
Oh, I thought it
Should
did
that
work.
work fine?
That's probably not going to work with a microphone.
Why?
It might, but I don't know. It might.
And I didn't respond fast enough to the tech person for like the third round or whatever. And so they closed my case.
Hell yeah.
So now I have to try again. So that's cool. So yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. We kind of just went over what did we talk about yesterday? We were talking about like your feelings and how overwhelming they've been lately to you
Yes.
personally. And I mean, I've had a couple of instances where it's, you know, I guess your feelings overwhelmed me as well. But we kind of already covered those. Like when I met your mom for the first time, she kind of freaked you out because she was being your mom. And I don't know if we really talked about that, did we?
Not on the podcast.
Yeah, so I don't know, a couple weeks ago I met your mom and
It was like 1 week ago.
Really? No.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
What's today?
Friday.
No, sorry, what's today's date?
I don't know. 12th? 11th?
No. Oh.
12th?
It is the 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. You're right this
Yeah.
time.
Every time.
No.
And yeah, so she was just very like your aunt was super nice. And your
She
cousin.
is. I love my aunt a lot.
Yeah. She was really busy. Your cousin was young.
I
How
think
old
the
is she?
phrase
12?
you used was painfully 15.
Yeah,
which is
painfully.
true.
Yeah. And then you told her I said that. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was really funny.
Yeah.
She wasn't offended.
I mean, I said it, so I need to own it, I guess.
Right.
So, yeah, what else? Yeah, so your mom was just very like, your mom would ask a question and then turn around and walk away.
Yeah, she
Basically.
basically just walked away mid-conversation with you
Yeah.
and me.
Which is whatever.
I mean, to you.
Yeah.
And in that very short conversation, which was the only time she acknowledged my attempts to speak to her that day. You know, after you left, I tried to like have conversations with her, but she was more interested in talking to everyone else. But in the conversation with you and me, she asked me about an activity, like a hobby sort of thing that I've done very consistently from ages like 9 to 21. I've played an instrument. And I haven't picked it up in 2.5 years, as I am 23. And she asked me about that and if I currently like still do that activity. And I was like, no. Like, no, that is not a part of my life anymore. And you know that, or I've told you that. And I've told you relevant things about my life related to my, professional program that I was excited about, but you don't remember any of those things. You just think of like the one constant that you've had to not think about to know anything about me. So I was very upset.
Yeah. Yeah, you got really upset. You walked away and left me there.
Love you.
So yeah, I was in the middle of a field.
Oh my God, you were under a tent with people that you had met and spoken to.
People that I just met, yes, you're right. I was there with people that I just met that I hadn't really connected with yet. But at least there was food and alcohol. So yeah, there was a guy there who I was able to talk music with at least. And some other things, illicit activities and things like that. So, but he was kind of obvious. So he stuck out in the crowd. So I approached him. I was like, this guy
you
gets
thought
it.
he was going to?
What?
Like you could like tell that he was the illicit type or whatever?
Yeah. You couldn't?
No.
What? Okay.
I could tell he was like a fucking dad hippie. Liking the Grateful Dead, I guess, doesn't mean you do illicit things.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, excuse me.
I mean,
he had a lot of tattoos of the Grateful Dead specifically.
Yeah.
They were not good also. That's what I noticed, is that his tattoos were poorly done.
Fair enough. So yeah,
and that he didn't know how to have conversation very well. Which
right.
apparently I don't either. So
he did actually. We started talking, we had to because we didn't have anybody else to talk to. He was there with his 70-something-year-old mom, and I was there with your 50-something-year-old mom.
And my abandonment.
Yep. But I mean, it was fine. It felt like you were gone for a very long. It felt like you were gone for 30+ minutes, and apparently you were gone for.
Your first guess was like an hour. I was gone for like 15 minutes.
I thought I said 30. I'm standing by 30.
I'm probably exaggerating your exaggeration.
Could be. Because it felt like you were gone for about 30 minutes. Because at some point I started to wonder if I needed to look for you.
And I asked you what I could have done differently. And I was like, should I have taken you with me? Like, literally, I had to borderline run away. LOL, borderline puns. Because, like, I was in tears. Like, I had to call my sponsor.
Yeah.
Or I called her. I was doing puzzles per step 1 of my pleasurable activities list. And then I texted my sponsor, and she just called right away. So I took it.
Yeah, that was kind of the first thing is, in the middle of all of this going on, you stopped and started doing puzzles. So I knew what was going on. I got it. Like, you were trying to... I don't think that's ever going to help in in a social situation.
What do you think would?
Yeah, I mean, probably, I guess just walking away for a while. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe, but I don't know. You were basically in the middle of a party. Like, in the middle of it. Playing on your phone. I don't know. I mean, I see how that could help when you're like alone, when you're by yourself, because it kind of just gives your mind something to train on, to focus on. But like, I don't know, if you're around like a lot of other stimulation, I've found that like difficult to try and, you know what I mean?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you, but it didn't work for you. So I think
difficult to what?
I mean, what's the point of playing a puzzle? Is to kind of zone out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what my list is for.
Right, yes.
That's the whole point of what DBT is. That's the first step to being able to handle emotions.
Right. And my point is, I think like trying to do like a puzzle with a lot of other stimulation going around is difficult. So yeah, I mean, probably just like removing yourself from the situation. I mean, unless you're able to just like blow it off and be like, well, whatever, like
If I were able to do that, we wouldn't be here.
Fair enough. But I guess that's the goal, is to just blow it off one day.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, probably like physically removing yourself from the situation, like just kind of walking away for a bit and isolating yourself.
I did that though.
You did, yeah.
And that's what we're having this conversation about, is that wasn't okay.
Well, I'm saying that's what worked. Right?
But you're saying it hurt you and that it wasn't considerate of your feelings, so what do I do?
Learn how to blow it off.
It feels like you're telling me I'm not doing enough for the correct things.
No, we've already processed this. We're already kind of past this. I thought we were definitely past this.
Apparently not.
Okay. I was just going through the steps with you again, like about what happened, but like...
What? I took my ears off because I don't feel little anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take that as a personal thing?
I guess not. I don't think so.
Okay, because you made a face.
Okay. Fair enough.
Are ears our personal thing or not? I'm not sure where we are on that.
Okay. I don't know either.
Do you want them to be? Because I didn't take them off in order to be like a fuck you.
Right. It's fine.
That wasn't very convincing.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. Okay. Let's keep rolling, if we will, please.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, well then what do you want to say?
Okay. What did I say that was wrong? I said something that hurt your feelings. What was that?
Yeah, you said multiple things that hurt my feelings.
Okay. Do you want to start with the first one?
The most recent, I guess, was you're telling me I should have done something that I did and that action hurt you.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. I'm telling you, and well, this is what I mean. We've already discussed this. Like, you did the thing that helped you, and that's all you could do. There was no other option there. Otherwise, you were just going to have an anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. You did the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why that hurt your feelings.
Okay.
I didn't mean to.
I know. I'm thinking.
Can I speak?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I felt abandoned. You just kind of left me there with a bunch of people that I'd like just met and didn't really relate to. Not yet. And still don't. Because it was kind of a short meeting. And it was because it was like a big social thing. It wasn't like a personal meeting. Like, nobody was like face to face, kind of. And everybody was kind of like focused on people they already knew. Which is whatever. I mean, that's how those things go. I get it. I was comfortable until I was just like standing there by myself. And then it was kind of like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't really have anybody to talk to.
Okay, now what?
So that's one thing that happened recently. That was just kind of like related to your BPD. And then there was a second instance where recently, very recently, you showed up at like, you came to lunch with me at work and you felt like I was being avoidant. And I wasn't trying to be, like, it certainly wasn't intentional. I didn't think I was being avoidant. You were coming to eat lunch with me and I had a meeting, or I had people that were working for me. So I went ahead and ate lunch real quick with them. I just like inhaled a sandwich real quick. And then you got there and you're upset that I'd already eaten. But like, we were watching videos together, like we were doing everything else we normally do on my lunch break. So I didn't feel like anything was out of the ordinary until you said something. And you acted like I didn't want you there. You acted like I was acting like I didn't want you there.
Yeah, I described it as it didn't really feel like we were in the same room together. Yeah, I wish you'd waited and eaten with me. Because like we eat together. That's like a thing. And you're like borderline laughing at me or laughing about it.
I love you. Sorry.
I love you too. I mean, I'm just noting into the podcast because that's what you did then too.
Yes, honey. Yes, I think it's silly that I need to chew up food and swallow it next to you.
I mean, if you can strange planet any sort of action that humans do, yeah, it sounds dumb.
Okay. But I was still like, I guess the point is I was still like with you. I was trying to like watch videos and stuff with you. I just didn't have food in my mouth.
When we watch straight up politics videos that are generally like liberal bashing, like at lunch, like I don't feel like that's something we share.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it was the combination of the two.
Okay. So then like an opportunity arose where you could come and see the show that I had that night.
Mm-hmm.
And you came for the second half of the show, and I was excited that you were coming because this was something like we were going to do together. And it started out like it was a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up that way too. But when you got there, I could kind of tell something was wrong, but immediately you dove into your phone and you were doing a sheet. And like, I mean, I knew what was going on. Like something had upset you. Like the whole reason you didn't come to the show is because you needed to go to an ACA meeting. And so you went to the ACA meeting and then it upset you like greatly. And then you were unable to be present with me. And so, yeah, I mean, that set me off a little bit. Like, Because, yeah, I mean, you wanted me to be excited about you coming to hang out with me. So then I was, because we were doing, we were going to be able to just watch a show together because I wasn't like actively working it. And then you weren't there until like the last 2 songs. And that's fine. I mean, it's just another instance of something that you needed to do because you were upset.
This episode is turning into something like really embarrassing for me. I feel really embarrassed right now.
I'm sorry. But you say, like, this is something that... Like, am I wrong?
I guess not.
Like, do I have incorrect feelings?
That's not a phrase. That's not a thing.
So, in response to these 2 events, you just said that I haven't been considerate of your... How did you phrase it?
I feel like you're losing patience for mental health shit that was already known and on the table.
Right. And I disagree if it's limited to those 2 events. Because those are... Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully I've explained where I'm coming from with those 2 events at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. I mean, that's what you need to do, so I understand. But understand, too, the position that it leaves me in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. If that's something that we just agree that happens, then we just agree that that happens. If that's part of your mental health, then that's just what we do. I mean, we just say, okay, this is what it is. I mean, I still love you. Like, I'm not like... I don't feel like I'm losing patience for you.
Okay.
I just think those 2 events are extreme, and they happened back to back.
Yeah. It's been a really full month. With your ASMR.
So that happened recently.
You're enjoying talking to yourself?
I guess.
Okay. I'm kind of at a block right now. Like, I'm having a really hard time thinking.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm very stressed right now. I'm really sad that my actions like had that effect on you. And I'm not really sure how to deal with the guilt that's coming with that. And that I didn't really know it was happening when it was happening. And I think I'm very upset because had I been in your position at when you met my family, like, I wouldn't have struggled with that. I would have probably just popped into a conversation, like, gone for it. So
yeah, I mean, jumping into a conversation with your family is not easy.
You literally knew them for like 2 hours. So.
For what?
You literally met them for like 2 hours. So.
I mean, well, kinda. So there was your mom who just walked away in the middle of me talking. There was her boyfriend who wasn't interested in talking to me.
Or anyone, from what I could tell. He seemed very quiet.
Yeah.
I've only met him like 1.5 times.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I did. I ended up finding the guy that I could relate to, and I hung out with him. I talked to him. So, yeah, I did. I made the best of it.
And that's kind of what I was hoping, I guess. I didn't think like, fuck you. Like, make your way on your own for half an hour or 15 minutes or whatever. I didn't really have the mental space to consider that, and I know that really upset you, and I don't really know how to process that guilt.
I wouldn't say it really upset me. I mean, did it?
I think the word abandon is pretty rough.
Well, I mean, you weren't like dumping me, but like I was just alone. I just felt alone.
Yeah, which is shitty to feel. can relate. Like, why would I want to make someone feel that way?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I know you weren't actively trying to make me feel alone.
I think I'm seeing a little of my family in me right now. Like, struggling to admit that they've done something wrong. And instead saying, I feel like you're losing patience with me.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it may seem that way too, because, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like you're unjustified in making that comment based on what's going on. I mean, I understand. I don't feel like you're attacking me over that.
Okay.
But I think our ability to observe and say that it's just these two events and nothing else, then I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you feel that way, that's one thing. But then, like, if we can rationalize it and say, well, that's not actually what's going on, then we've done something together. I mean, it's not something I foresee happening often.
No, and that's what we talked about. I mean, whenever we talked about this, I guess in the car the other day, that those what I experienced at ACA and the conversation with my mom were really, really intense triggers for me.
So the thing sorry. Were you finish, please?
I was just gonna say whatever. My mom, like, blatantly not knowing or caring what was going on in my life, or having no interest in meeting the person that I love, like, more than I've ever loved anyone ever, was just the moment of, like, coming out of denial with her. And I had that moment with my dad a few weeks ago in the fun text message incident. And it's been hard to accept that neglect shapes me just as much as abuse does, and having to process or whatever, just acknowledge that my mom doesn't really give much of a shit, has been really painful. And that was very, very not fun. And then the guy in ACA, like, resembled my dad in many ways, and it, like, I was shaking. It was very uncomfortable, and that doesn't happen often at all.
Yeah, segueing into that, like, ACA seems to be a source of anxiety for you right now.
Which is really unfortunate.
And it kind of has been for a while. Because, I mean, we started talking not long ago about, I mean, you felt like you were wondering if ACA was even something that you were getting anything out of, I think is how you put it.
I really started to question the possibility of sobriety in a group of dysfunctional people. Emotional sobriety.
I'm starting to agree with you. At the time, I didn't have an opinion because I didn't really know. But the more you talk about it, the more I start to agree with you.
And I've been limiting when I go. I go once a week now. I've had to negotiate the days that I go with my dysfunctional, sick ex. Yeah, and I've been hoping that, going less often, spending more time with my sponsor one-on-one, spending more time with my steps and my therapist, who it just so works out that I haven't seen very much this month because schedules are a bitch. I'm hoping I would dig more into, like, the program on my own and with people that are close to me, and not just a room full of others. And the person that upset me so much was a newcomer who is very much on the other laundry list, very much acts out, definitely is narcissistic. So I was hoping that, like, just shifting the focus and my activity in the program would bring me less distress. But now when I do go, like, there's no way to predict who's going to be there or what they're going to say or how much they're going to shit on the people around them. So I don't know. I'm going to keep going, but I don't know where this is going to go.
I guess I probably haven't been, like, appreciative enough of the fact that even though you were having, like, an anxiety attack, you did still come to, like, hang out with me and see me. So, I mean, that was a thing too. It's not like you blew me off completely.
No, and I came in that state because you really, really wanted me there.
I did.
And I didn't want to sit in the car for 20 minutes doing a worksheet and texting my therapist because, like, you wanted me to be there and I thought it was important that I went. So it might not have been the best choice, but I used the judgment I had and, like, I knew that you were really excited to see me. And I would have rather been doing a worksheet next to you and, like, freaking out than being alone while you were waiting on me. Because I thought you would understand what I was doing and be okay with it.
I did. And I mean, I was just disappointed because I was so excited to see you and do that with you. It was just kind of disappointing. I mean, yeah, but it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
could have been worse. You did come to see me, so thanks. Sorry, I wasn't appreciative enough of that.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Okay.
How else would I say it?
I don't know. I want to make sure you're not just, like, saying that to make me feel better or, like, to...
So I could sleep with you.
Not tonight. I gotta go home. That's why I'm drinking chocolate milk.
I know. Yes. Yeah, I mean that, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
For what?
I don't know. Being selfish, I guess.
Hey, stop.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Okay.
you're not selfish for having feelings.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being really selfish, so
Okay. Fair enough. I love you.
I love you.
So your therapist, he recommends people to go to your ACA group.
Yes.
He used to be
He started our ACA group in town where I live, TM,
why did he quit going?
because all of his clients started going. Even before he referred them to ACA. But, you know, you can't therapy in a room full of people that you therapy. You know, it's you have to have professional distance. You know, if I have clients that are in ACA, I will have to find a new ACA group. Like, you can't share that personal circle with them. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, what discipline you come from. If you're counseling, like, your clients disclose, you do not disclose to that volume around your clients because then it's personal.
Yeah, I can see that.
And he lost clients because he was social in ACA. Like, he had people in the group that, you know, saw him as his he was their therapist, and they would socialize. And some people found that really uncomfortable and stopped coming to ACA and stopped seeing him. And as he puts it, they fired him. And he really didn't like losing clients that way and didn't want to have that effect on people.
Sure.
So he doesn't go anymore. He's in another 12-step program that he does go to, but he doesn't go to ACA, at least here. I think we have phone meetings, though. So he might do that. I don't know.
Huh.
I know there are codependent anonymous meetings over the phone, because the codependent in-person meetings, like, suck ass from what I've heard. They're super dysfunctional. So, LOL.
There's a 12-step program for codependent people?
Mm-hmm. It's very similar to ACA.
Why? So they can find other codependent people?
Literally, that's how it's turning out from what I hear.
Black hole of codependence?
That's what I've been told. I mean, we've got one person in ACA who used to go to those, and she's like, don't go to them. They're horrible. At least the one here.
Ugh.
And, well, I mean, it's the same thing with ACA. Like, when you get a whole bunch of SIG people in a room together, are they actually going to help each other improve? And I think the key is having enough people, because our group is super small. And there are not a lot of people that have a year or more and have stayed. So it's just new people fueling each other's dysfunction.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, people get helped by AA, and
yes, they do.
AA is a bunch of alcoholics in a room.
True, but they're huge. There are so many people getting their, like, 10-year chips. Like, my dad's 16-year medallion is in my wallet.
Yeah.
People stay in AA for a long time.
Yeah.
And ACA is very new. It was created in like 1978. And it's very little known.
ACA? 78? That's new?
Yeah. It's not been around for all that long. And it's not known about much at all.
You don't get to call me old anymore.
You're right. I'm still going to, but you can say that, I guess. But yeah, no one really knows about it because it morphed out of Alateen or Al-Anon, like graduates of Alateen, whatever. They turned 18 and started going to Al-Anon. They're like, fuck this is not what we needed. So they created ACA, but that's relatively young because AA was created in like the 30s, ? It's old. But just no one fucking knows about ACA. And so we don't have a high influx and we don't have like 40-year members or anything.
Sure.
Like you do in AA very regularly. I mean, that's rare to see someone with 30 years of sobriety, but it's much easier to find someone who's like built their life around this than in ACA.
Sure.
So yeah, that's me talking out of my ass about 12-step programs.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know my brother used to go to NA, Narcotics Anonymous, a lot.
Yes, that's what my therapist is in.
Yeah, my brother said a lot of people died.
Yeah, I've got a friend who used to be in NA, and when she decided to stop coming, she was wondering, like, why is no one reaching out to me? Like, she was getting in touch, and they all responded basically like, if you're not in the rooms, we assume you're in active addiction or dead. Because people just die.
Yeah.
People in AA, like, if you fall off the wagon, like, you can languish in that for years. But if you're in NA, like, people just die.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Pretty much. Yeah, there was a guy who went to high school with me, and he passed away.
Damn.
And, yeah, my brother hit me up. And he's like, hey, do you know this guy? He went to NA with us. I was like, oh. How about that?
That's sad.
Yeah, my brother was in the program for, I don't know when he quit going. For a few months. It wasn't long.
No, not at all.
And there were like 3 people that died during that time.
Yeah. My brother never
don't go to NA.
Seriously. AA works just as well for some people if they've got a drug addiction. My brother never really liked alcohol, but he's been clean for, how old is he? 6 years, I think, this past February. Just going to AA, even though he was definitely getting clean off crystal meth 6 years ago. So it all depends on how you want to use the program, I guess. And I think AA is a little more chill. NA is very severe. It's very intense, just because drug addiction is really intense, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what my brother said. He enjoyed it. He liked it more than AA because AA was so overbearingly religious.
True.
And my brother hated that.
Fair.
But yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what phrases they use in NA as opposed to like God, higher power, whatever, him. But in
higher power.
Yeah. So I think we use like higher power of your understanding or something in ACA.
Yeah, it's basically
But AA
that.
has really like, their phrases really make me cringe. Like they have like let go and let God, whatever. And I really hate those.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Seriously. No, I really hate them because I was like verbally abused with them when I was younger. So it's, when we come to certain passages of the textbook, I don't want to be in the meeting sometimes. But that's why I don't like AA, because they're so riddled with like self-righteous, go pray about it sort of things. And I can understand why your brother was like, fuck that.
Yeah, Bill Burr's latest podcast, he's shitting all over AA. And just kind of because he's a comedian. And yeah, one of his things is like, really? He's like, it's all the bottle's fault? It's not even like 20% your fault? It's all the bottle, huh? Okay, whatever. So I think he was kind of tapping into that self-righteousness of...
Very much. It's straight religion. I mean, yeah. Which I find very annoying anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. If it works for people, it works for people, and that's good. If it saves lives, then it's... I guess that's a good thing. We need those former alcoholics, man.
If it changes your behavior, it's a good thing. My therapist is always like, how is your dad so violent? Like, was he even working the steps? I'm like, I thought so. Like, how can someone be so violent while working the steps, working a program? So as long as it changes your behavior, like, good on you. But if you're just going to be like, I quit drinking, so that changes everything, then...
Now you're a sober asshole.
Yes. Because we've got people who are in AA and ACA, and Jesus Christ, I hate hearing them share. It's just all the, like, very self-righteous and, like, bullshit philosophy about whatever. I really hate when they share.
Other than that, we've just been arguing about black people a lot.
True stories. You've just been making a lot of racist comments, and I generally don't know what to say back to them.
Like what?
Which is like half of our relationship anyway.
What, me making racist comments?
I mean, just going...
Whatever. But do you think I'm racist?
I think you sound really racist just for the sake of, like, toying with social conceptions.
Yeah.
But you sound really fucking racist.
Fair enough.
And this is why I've said, like, we can't identity politics 95% of the time, because, like, I don't have the energy to, like, fake fight your fake racism. Like, I can't give a shit 100% of the time about it. I just can't. It's not possible.
But a lot of what I talk about, I'm being serious, though.
I guess.
I mean, if I'm joking, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of the white knighting drives me crazy. It doesn't drive me crazy. I think it's too much. Like, how much? Like, there's a stand-up bit that I want to do where I want to be like, I want to apologize to all the black people in the room, and I want to start handing them money because I feel so bad for them. Like, I feel like that's a caricature of what's going on in society. Is that like, oh, we're so sad for you, we're so sorry for you. Let me give you money because you're so helpless and you're so great, you're so black. Like, I feel like that's what society does. Like, and that's what it looks like, at least, you know. And I think that's how it looks to me. Is it looks crazy. It looks super racist in like a reverse racism kind of way, I guess, but it's still racism. I mean, it's still like, right?
Elaborate. Like, I know what you're talking about because we've talked about this 12 times this week, but keep going on, like, why that's racist.
On why it's racist to assume that, like, all black people have the exact same experience and they're all downtrodden and none of them can get ahead, and all white people hate all black people, and that's the system that keeps black people down, because all white people are bad people and all white people are bad people and all black people are good people. And yeah, it's just extreme. It's very extreme.
I feel like a lot of our discussions about this struggle because it's hard for us to like negotiate the middle ground between everyone in society and one individual person.
Right.
You and me specifically. Because you flip-flop between both a lot. And I don't have a set stance on who I'm talking about. On, like, a group of people, a size of whatever.
Right. Well, I prefer the individual. But
yes,
society at large talks about groups of people. Groups of people are the focus of legislation and movements and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I don't mean to flip-flop back and forth. I mean, I understand why I would, though.
I never have any idea what to say, because you will go from, like, focusing on one person, like, everyone is different, to, oh, but isn't that how it is, or whatever, like, all people are like this. Like, that's not what I'm saying. And so I can't fight both sides of the same argument. Like, I can't do it. Because I'm not saying all people are the same. I do support that there are trends across groups, though, and that you can't just pretend that history or that those trends don't exist.
Is that not what a stereotype is?
No, because a stereotype is all people or whatever. I mean, there's reality.
What's the difference between intersectionality and stereotyping?
Intersectionality rejects stereotypes.
What? How?
We've talked about this. Except like the end goal or whatever of intersectionality is individualism. Intersectionality means
That's the ultimate realization of, and I guess intersectionality is taking stereotypes and laying them on top of other stereotypes and finding commonalities there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the definition of an intersection.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the actual end realization of intersectionality is that all people are individuals and that all people are different.
Mm-hmm. But we all share an environment. It's not like we're all our own little planet, like zooming around a solar system, never ever interacting with each other or occupying the same space.
We kind of are, though.
No.
In a way. That's why we have...
How many kids inhabit a single school together? How many kids have the same teacher?
Okay.
How many adults work for the same person?
That's still a fairly small world, though. Compared
but it's not individual.
to,
it's not just you. Like, you interact and share space with people.
Right, yes.
In shared institutions.
This is why local government is important.
Mm-hmm. We have federal government mostly here. I know we have states' rights, and yes, we have state legislation and regional legislation.
Yes,
but we have a lot of overarching federal legislation as well.
I know. People in California get to tell us what to do. Why?
Why isn't weed legal then? They don't tell us much what to do in that case. Ooh.
Eventually, it trickles down.
Checkmate, atheists.
Yes, checkmate, atheists. But to your point, federal law is... federal law, kills everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because of slavery, pretty much.
What?
Yeah, the Civil War, believe it or not, was actually fought over states' rights, which were the right
slaves.
of the states to have slaves. Yes.
Yeah,
So I don't know why that's such a... People are like, it's not about states' rights. And,
yeah, it was. That was the whole point. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that argue against that.
Well, people are stupid. Next.
So yeah, at that point, I think we did lose a lot of rights. States lost a lot of rights.
I can't really say that abolishing slavery was a bad thing, though.
Yeah. It was a weird trade-off, though.
Mm-hmm. I shrugged. You shrugged back.
Yeah.
Just for commentary purposes.
Yeah, obviously, everybody needs to have, the same rights.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't... Whether you congregate with your own race or another one within your rights, I don't think matters. Because that's just human nature, is you're going to find people like you. And that's also...
I think we're seeing a lot of parallels with this right now, though. So it's funny. It's kind of funny that we bring this up, and that I've been reading a lot about this in the current news.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not white people and black people anymore. Now it's not black people who are denied rights, and it's not even really rights. For a private establishment to have a black water fountain and a white water fountain or whatever, or to not let black people in. You know what I mean? But listen to me. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's wrong. But for Twitter to ban someone from their services because they don't have the correct opinion, what's the difference? If a private establishment doesn't want to let black people in, or if a private establishment doesn't want to let right-wingers in, is there any difference there? You're still taking away someone's rights, even though it's under a private umbrella.
I'm definitely not supporting banning people from Twitter.
Sure.
I'm about to devil's advocate you a little bit, but I'm clearly I want to make it clear I'm not supporting deplatforming people.
Sure.
I think Alex Jones was an idiot, but he shouldn't have been deplatformed.
Fair enough.
Seeking to oppress a certain group is different than having a skin color.
What?
Right-wingers, whatever, they generally preach hatred. And that's fine. You can go say all that shit if you want to, but that it's not let's not compare that to being born a certain color.
Fair enough. There's parallels there. It's not the exact same thing. but I don't see how it's that much different. Like,
I think white
More,
nationalists are a little different than people who are just.
I guess I don't see how it's ethically different. And we're not talking about white nationalists. We're just talking about.
I am.
Well, yeah, but I mean that. Even those people, you can't support like banning them or censoring them or getting rid of them. I mean, that's just a yeah. I mean, then all of a sudden you move the Overton window to like, okay, now this is also considered hate speech. Now this is considered hate speech. You just kind of
The
like
battles get smaller and smaller.
yeah, you slippery slope that one right into well, you know, you voted for Donald Trump, like that's hate speech.
Very 1984.
So yes, we slipped straight out of like maybe slavery was a good thing into like it was not a good thing. No. But it is crazy, like what a juxtaposition there of like, okay, do we ban slavery or do we take away the rights of the states? Like, do states actually have rights? The state's constitution supersede the federal constitution? And I guess we agreed that no, states don't have rights. The federal government has rights.
Well,
but
secede then. Like
they tried to.
Well, do it again.
They were shot and killed. And,
do it again.
If
you don't want to be a part of a country and be governed federally, then don't be in that country. First of all, you can just move. Second of all, that's what being a part of a country means. Is you have to be united by something. I don't think there'd be a lot of point in being one of the United States of America if we didn't have a federal government.
Yeah, fair. But the United States was sort of like a European Union kind of thing, I guess. You know, the federal government.
The southern states pulled a Brexit.
I mean, they tried to.
I know. Retroactive references.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very strange now, though, that, like, I don't know. I just think it's odd that. I mean, how far removed from all of that are we? But we're still saying that black people are institutionally held back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I agree with that 100%. I mean, yeah, obviously people are racist. It's not just white people. White people also don't own like everything. And not the majority. To make the claim that black people are systematically held back by the system, by the government or whatever, it sounds like you're making the point that the majority of people in power are racist against black people. Otherwise, I don't think it qualifies as systemic.
I think the difference here is coming from you're thinking from what I'm hearing that you just said is that, let's see, like you're hearing that I'm talking about the people. I'm really talking about the systems that were built by people in the past. Like we have a lot of legislation that's been on the books for 50 years. And who wrote that? Openly racist people who were protected by the law.
Not everybody was openly racist back then.
Well,
the majority of people weren't. That's why slavery got outlawed.
Having separate water fountains was openly racist.
Well, and actually,
and
yes.
A lot of people, like in the time when that was accepted and correct or whatever, that's what people generally believe. That was a social belief.
Right, yes. So the biggest deal with the Civil War was that it was a minority of states did not support slavery, and they could not compete economically with states that had slavery. Mm-hmm. Because states that had slavery were economically more efficient than states that did not support slavery.
Yeah.
And it was a minority of states, and those states fought and won against, like physically fought and won against the bigger states instead of just letting them make their own country. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the big deal, is that a minority of people were able to tell a majority of people what to do.
Because slavery is a human rights violation.
Yes.
I mean, is that not just how it goes? If you lose the fight, then you lost.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Sure. But yeah, anyway, I don't know.
I'm just thinking morbid thoughts about like how Americans even gained the land that slaves were brought onto. Like, how are you supposed to get it back or try and take it but through blood and death? And then like that didn't work. So I mean, it sucks, I guess.
What do you mean?
Native Americans were just murdered for their land.
Oh.
And that's how America was built, or really like created. It was taken from Mexicans and Native Americans through force and murder. So I mean, how did you gain the land, and then how would you take it from the country if you wanted to secede? You know, you have to take that land from the person who owns it, which was the federal government. If that's how it's done, like, you lost, and then I guess that's just how it is. I don't know. That was a weird like train of thought, but
yeah,
humans are weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. People die anyway, whether you get stabbed or whether you have fucking cancer.
Yeah, but like, why would you want people to die?
I know. You don't want them to die, but they do.
Well, yeah, but like,
you don't want people to get murdered. I realize that. You don't want families to get murdered. Yes.
No, I don't. Thank you. But that's the whole point of human life, is to stay alive. So like,
I think the point of life is to procreate.
Yeah, to perpetuate life.
Yes.
And to stay alive long enough to fucking make babies.
Yes.
Who will then stay alive long enough to fucking make babies.
Right. But if you're weak and you get killed by other people, then you're just not strong enough to stay alive.
Oh, we had this conversation weeks ago now. We were like, people die. Like, who cares if they're dying? You know, if there's a war across the world, like, who cares? It's just people. They're just going to die anyway. But like, that's the whole point of humanity, is to stay alive and keep each other alive.
I don't know if it's about keeping each other.
To keep the race alive. The human race. Yeah.
Gotta keep those whiteys alive.
White people. Oh no. That's so bad.
I mean, I guess so. You don't want people to stay alive that just inherently disagree with like you fundamentally, right?
Murder the unbelievers.
I mean, right? That's what they've done throughout history.
No.
That's what people do. What?
Why would we let people who disagree with us stay alive?
Right. Oh, I'm a barbarian now.
Oh my God. That was really funny and really awful.